Hi guys, we're going to continue our journey through North America today as we look at the major bodies of water in North America. We're just going to look at some really important and impactful bodies of water. We could never cover every body of water in North America, but we're going to cover some. Before we jump in, one fun fact that you need to know is that 71% of our Earth is covered with water. So the vast majority of our Earth is covered in water. You also need to know this vocabulary term. We have a tributary. This is a river or a stream that flows into a larger river or lake. Okay, so it's a smaller body of water that flows into a larger one. You can see in this picture, you can see the green water kind of merging together with that brown water. That would be two bodies of water kind of merging to make a larger body, which would be a tributary. All right, let's start with the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is the third longest river in North America. You can see it start right up here in Minnesota, and it actually runs all the way to the Gulf of Mexico and the tip of Louisiana. It's 2,300 miles long, and it is completely in the U.S. It touches no other country. It gathers water from the Missouri River and the Ohio River, and more than 50 cities depend on this river for their daily drinking water. 60% of all exported goods through the United States travel along the Mississippi River at some point, and then they are going to be exported through the port of New Orleans in Louisiana. Please remember, if you're taking notes, you can always pause and take your notes as we go. All right, next we have a very important body of water to us, and that is the Ohio River. Some of you may have driven over this as you go through Cincinnati or to West Virginia, and you get on a pretty large bridge to cross the Ohio River. So again, the Ohio River is contained completely in the United States, and it is formed by the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers, and those flow together in Pittsburgh actually, then it starts to flow west. So this river, so you can see it starts here in Pittsburgh. It forms that border between Ohio and West Virginia and Ohio and Kentucky. It continues to help form that border between Kentucky and Indiana and Illinois and Kentucky as well. This river is 981 miles long. It empties out into the Mississippi River right at the Illinois border. So you can see it kind of right here, all right, where it empties out into the Mississippi River. So the Ohio River is a tributary. This river supplies more water to the Mississippi River than any other river or a body of water. It provides drinking water to over 3 million people, and along the Ohio River, we have more than 20 dams that allow cargo to be transported from various industries. So Pennsylvania and Ohio are places where we have industries like coal and steel, and we actually transport these goods along the Ohio River. All right, let's talk about the Rio Grande River. This is called the Rio Bravo del Norte in Mexico, and it flows through the U.S. and parts of Mexico. So you can see right here, it starts up here in Colorado, kind of works its way down. It forms that border between Texas and Mexico in some places, okay? And then it's going to empty out into the Gulf of Mexico. It flows 1,900 miles, and it is a very important natural resource when it comes to watering crops in these areas. Next, we have the St. Lawrence River, which is to our north, okay? It flows through the U.S. and Canada, and it empties more water into the Atlantic Ocean than any other river system. So it supplies a lot of water to the Atlantic Ocean. It is in this St. Lawrence River system, we have 9,500 miles of navigable waters, okay? So that's where we can transport, or you see boats, okay? All right, so we have the St. Lawrence Seaway, where this was actually manufactured by humans, where then we could kind of connect all of our Great Lakes, which we'll talk about in a minute. This was completed in 1959, and it was a collaboration between Canada and the U.S. to connect all these waterways. So we forged this path, which means we made this path all the way from Lake Superior. You can see how these are all connected. Then there will be a little river that goes from Lake Huron to Lake Erie, okay? And again, from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario. And then we have this river. This is our St. Lawrence River, okay? This is a valuable shipping route. Because it connects all these bodies of water, it vastly improves shipping and how we can get goods from Duluth, North Dakota, all the way out to Canada and to the Atlantic Ocean and beyond. So speaking of the Great Lakes, some of you may have visited Lake Erie before or even Lake Michigan. These are two of the Great Lakes. When we look at our Great Lakes, we want to think homes. This is a great acronym. So we have Lake Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. So you can see real pictures, satellite pictures here. We have Lake Superior, which is way bigger than any of the others. Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, which is to the north of Ohio, and Lake Ontario. This is the biggest and largest group or lake group in the world. It ranges more than 95,000 square miles. That's how large this is, okay? And it holds more than 84% of North America's fresh water and about 21% of the world's supply of fresh water, which is a huge number. With the exception of Lake Michigan, the Great Lakes make a border between the U.S. and Canada. So you can see that on the other side of Lake Erie, we have Canada. On the other side of Lake Ontario, we have Canada, Huron, and Superior. Now, Michigan is contained completely in the United States. We do have kind of a treaty with Canada that says that we don't have to patrol this. There is no border inside the lakes. It's when you get to these shores. So we don't have any kind of disputes with Canada. It's kind of mutual ownership of these lakes. In order of size, Lake Superior is the largest lake in the world and, of course, the largest Great Lake. Then Lake Michigan, Huron, Ontario, and Erie is the smallest by surface area. So Erie is the smallest Great Lake.